Right, we have a bunch of questions. Now, I have not made the questions today, which is an interesting one. Crunk basically was like, I'll help you out. I'll write some questions for you, which was great because I had a lot on today, guys. So I'm putting my excuses in now. I'm putting it in early, basically. That's what we're going for. So we have some questions here. We're going to start with the usual ones. Alex, have you answered these questions before? Had we developed these as a set sort of system, Alex?
Yep. I answered these when I came on the Mac report.
Awesome. Yeah. Because Alex here, obviously, back several times. Right, okay then. So, we'll start with Zane and then we'll go to Hertha, if that's alright. So first one first, when did you start playing, Zane? When was your first introduction to Clash of Clans?
I started playing Clash of Clans the year it came out. So like 2014, sometime in the year, I started playing at my old job. So I just had to sit there and everything happened around me, and I just waited for like my role to present itself. So it was a good time passer in the beginning.
Nice. Okay, cool. What about you, Hertha? When did you start playing?
Don't know the exact year, but it was like back when you got raided, you lost the troops in your army camps, which was a thing basically at the beginning. It was like, I don't know. I don't remember a year, but I just remember that thing.
That's early on. That feels like it was quite early. Was it like pre Spell Factory?
Might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure. But back it's been a long time.
Nice. Alex, thank you for gifting the sub in the middle of someone answering a question. Love it. Always fun to put people off. Gifting a nice little sub there to Lil. What about I was going to say, what about let's start with your names. Where did your name come from, Zane? Are these both going to be really boring? I'm now worried they are going to be like quite dull stories. Go for it.
Nothing's boring with Zane.
Nothing's boring with Zane.
Really
Good to know.
No.
Get your mind blown. My name is Zane.
No, that is the first guest I've had on. Now, I thought that would be the case with Marno. I thought it would be someone else as well. That's awesome. I love it. Mr. Imagination there. Yeah. Great. Hertha, what about yours?
So basically it's my favorite football team. So yeah.
Okay,
and I created the account like a couple of years ago when I was pretty young, so quite creative. Yeah.
No, I like that. That's cool. What about favourite troop? What's your favourite troop or strategy in the game? Go for it. Let us know.
I don't know. It's probably this Infernal Dragons fan.
Infernal Dragons fan. Look at Alex in disgust. Zane, what about you? What's your favourite?
I don't have a favorite. I chase the meta. I follow what works. I try and do stuff that's above my pay grade. And then I revert back to stuff I'm capable of. So, no favorites. Cool. I just want to win.
No favorites. You just want to win. Nice. Happy days. So tell us. I kind of introduced you all as it, but tell us just now. Who is it that you're playing for just now? Zane, go for it. Start us off. Who are you playing for just now?
I play for Golden X.
And when was it you moved there?
A month ago.
Happy days. And you were Brian Fan Club before then, yeah?
Yeah, I was in Brian Fan Club for like the entirety of Brian Fan Club. So I played with the guys before it was called Brian Fan Club, and then we named it Brian Club, and rode it all the way out to the end.
Big Vale, thank you for the sub, man. That's awesome, Zane. So, you say you write it out to the end. Do you think Brian Fan Club's over as it was? Is that basically the way it is now?
So it merged with Hydrogen Gaming and became Hydrogen FC. So that's a new thing.
Yeah, that's happened fairly recent, isn't it?
Yeah. A month ago.
Yeah, like a month ago, yeah. Go on then, Hertha. Tell us about yourself. Also off the pastures new. You're also former Brian Fan Club, yeah?
Yes, so I actually started playing competitively at Brian Fan Club. I guess at the beginning it was under EYG Esports, I guess, where I did my first competitive steps. And then I joined BFC in like, I think it was March last year. Then I still stick with BFC until like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I joined Tribe, but I'm still doing some community leagues with Edudin FC as it's known now. So yeah,
Cool.
a bit of dueling there.
Happy days. That's
But
brilliant.
not in the same leagues, just in case any fair play people are watching this.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, fair point. That's fair point. Go on then. We'll stick with that then. We've got like a few questions for each person, just talking about that side of things, and then Alex, you're a wee bit far down the list. Maybe need to change the order here a little bit. But Hertha, let's start with you. How did that come about, getting into Tribe? What happened there? What was the process that happened
Who
there?
poached you?
So basically, Eve Maxi messaged me out of nowhere if I'd be interested to be like Tribe's sixth man. Because one of their guys, Exorcist, is on vacation for like 2 months or something, so they needed someone new. And then just reached out if I'd be interested. Then we did a little like try out, like 3 friendly roles or something, went on voice with the full team, and then worked out well. So yeah, here we are.
Happy days. Because Tribe are like this kind of their new thing at the moment, isn't it? That they're like a German side. They're a German team.
It's been a
So is
while, like, isn't it?
Yeah, is that what?
Been a German team for that while.
Yeah, but since
Ever
since
ever since
Nick
the
and
went to
Nick and
PlayStation,
Lexnos
all
left,
German.
they sort of, when they rebranded into this German team. So, but I wasn't aware that it was a deliberate sort of all German team. But then obviously when they're bringing in an extra man, they've gone looking for another German. Do you think that was significant, or do you not think it was nationality? It just so happened that you just fitted the mold. What's your thought?
I think it definitely played a role because like there's a lot of awesome players out there, and like if it's limited to Germans, of course the chances are to get in there as a German. So I guess that played a role as well. Yeah.
Cool. Happy days. And do you want to explain your shirt for everyone that's watching? Because it does look like you missed the dress code. Everyone else is sitting in t-shirts and you're sitting in the...
I legit got home from like a work dinner like 5 minutes, or like got back to the hotel like 5 minutes prior to this interview. I didn't really have time to change yet, so yeah.
I bet you.
In case anyone's wondering.
I bet you got on khakis.
What? No.
Khakis and a belt. It's still tucked in, bro. Khakis and a belt.
Khakis and a belt.
Like that.
And loafers.
Happy days. So this is Crunk's questions, just to bear in mind. And Crunk is lurking, by the way. He's the one that's providing the interference at the moment. I don't know if you're there, Crunk, but no,
yeah, I'm still there, just sort of hanging in the background,
He's
watching your
lurking.
masters in action.
So Crunk's next question here, he's written is, what is it about BFC that made you reject all the poach attempts until the Real Madrid of Clash came along?
So I don't know, like quite some people tried poaching, but like I've never seen the advantages of leaving BFC because like in the first place, I'm playing this game to have fun, and like I always had a lot of fun playing with these BFC guys because like I don't know, I like all of them quite a lot, and like even made friends in this game. And I think that was like 99% of the reason why I stuck to BFC. So yeah, now Tribe came along, which is an offer that's kind of hard to decline.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like that. That was very measured and typically German in the way that you said that you like the people in Brian Fan Club quite a lot. I like that. I'm trying to work out who in Brian. Probably Zane, to be fair. I'm trying to work out who in Brian Fan Club it is that you don't like so much, which has brought that down from I get on really well with the guys to quite a lot. The guys in Brian. Is it you, Zane? What are you saying? Zane doesn't. Zane looks
Zane's
like he has
golden
missed the
eggs. What are
joke.
you talking about, Mike?
No, but when he was in
isn't
Brian
it?
Fan Club.
What was the question?
Did you lose my Scottishness? You lost it in the Scottishness. There,
It's
didn't you?
Cobbs. That's all we need to say.
Yeah, probably. If anyone is got. No,
I was saying, Zane, he said that he got on with people in Brian Fan Club quite a lot, as opposed to getting on a lot. I was just joking. You know when like a joke doesn't land? Do you know what it is, Zane? It's because you're in your car. That's the problem.
That's
The
not
bad
right.
reception in your car.
Definitely not your sense of humor, Marcus.
No, definitely not. It's not my fault. It's never my fault, man. I'm also, while we're doing this, I'm just making you guys a little bit bigger. But yeah, there we go. Right, let's go for another question. Sorry. What have we got?
You're just skipping through all the ones that aren't suitable right now.
Well, no, we had. So I missed out. How many poach attempts did you have before joining Tribe Gaming? I mean, do we want to do? Do you know how many you've got?
I wrote about cops,
They're all from
man.
Ted.
I lost count. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. There were quite a few. Like, I'm not gonna.
You lost count.
Say any names.
He's unpoachable though, isn't
And
His
the
name on
next
the
one.
server was Hertha Unpoachable for a long time, for like a year.
That caused some drama, by the way.
Yeah, it did.
That was me.
So, the next one I've got, I don't like, these are very trolly questions, Kronk. Is it true that at one stage Sir Iron was trying to be your agent?
Well, I was the only one calling him like that because I don't know why we started talking. We were just talking on Discord, and like at some point he just started to like introduce me to like all kind of teams that were looking for players. Like, yeah, maybe you should reach out to this guy. Maybe you should try out here. And, like, I don't know. Like, I never talked about wanting to leave BFC. It was just came out of nowhere. Like, I'm super thankful for that because I think he's actually the one that like told Maxi about me. So I think he's the reason I'm at Tribe now, or part of the reason. So yeah, I know. It was pretty cool. It was pretty random at some points because like I know we don't even really know each other, but yeah,
Nice.
It's cool, I guess.
And what about expectations? Where so Tribe obviously getting to the pre-qualifiers this month is. I'm assuming the plan is to keep going with that. Did you take part in that? Sorry, I was asleep, man. I really lost the details of what was going on.
No, because like I tried with 7 people and I'm like the new guy, so when everyone's available, I'm not playing. But
okay.
Next month I think I'm most likely gonna play Worlds with Tribe. And like the goal is of course to like reach the World Championship. Like, I guess everyone playing Clash has this goal in some way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And have you guys Tribe secured a silver ticket through the through EU Mobile Open yet, or is that just?
I honestly don't know because I wasn't part of the Mobile Open team. Like I joined like mid-season, and you can't really roster a change. I think.
I think they did get a silver ticket because they ended up coming fourth, but all the teams that were above them already had either a golden or a silver ticket. So I think it got passed down, and I think they managed to get it, but I don't know if that's confirmed yet. Or
yeah, I'm not sure. I know that basically there's a silver ticket within that. Obviously, you still want to compete in Worlds and try and get the golden ticket. Yeah. I understand that, but I'm still trying to work that out with the mobile because North America gets one and EU gets one. Is that? Am I making stuff up, or is that right?
Yep. No, that's correct.
No, that's right.
It is. What is so it says, what is your training like here? So has training changed much? I mean, you just did a face that looks as if the concept of training has never crossed your mind, but
like I wouldn't really call it training, I guess. Like I'm just doing lots of friendly wars, but like most of the time I'm just messing around in these friendly wars, like trying stuff I would never use in a real war or something. Just so I kind of find out like where the boundaries are of what's possible, what's not possible, like what can I use in war, what should I better not use. So I don't know. That's basically all I'm doing in terms of like Clash training. So yeah.
Cool.
I'm not
do you
sitting there
build
doing
bases?
FCs for hours. Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So there's some of that as well.
Yep. Yeah, that takes up some time as well. It's annoying to build bases in the current meta.
Yeah. Is it so has base building changed a lot then, do you think, recently? Maybe not recently.
Well, it's more air heavy, I guess. Like you're trying to build more against air attacks like Lalos and like all these dragon things, and yeah. That's how I feel like the base building has changed. Like a lot of core multis to prevent like Lalos, a lot of baits because like that's basically the only thing you can do at the moment. Try to bait an attack.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that for me is the biggest change in base building is people are now trying to. There's like this deliberate intent to try and catch people out with a base, try and encourage a certain type of attack that the base is designed to defend against.
Yeah.
Yep.
The favourite hit you've ever done? Go for it. Tell us.
I think it's still gonna be the Lalubet attack against Boom. Like when we played under CWR Esports, it was like my third or fourth 5v5 competitive match. And we already lost at that point. And like at the start of Raw, I thought I could do a Lalubet here, but I've never done one before in my entire life. And I don't know why, but I just like then we just said, yeah, we lost anyways, just do it. Zane was one of the ones that like encouraged me the most to do it. And
Had
I
to.
just tried it and it
Is
worked.
that when Welbs threw really hard?
He wants
Yeah, he threw it.
Yeah.
it.
Thought
Yeah.
thought so.
But that was probably the best hit of my Clash career, if you want to call it like that.
Nice. I love that when you said that, Alex and Zane both nodded at the same time. And I'm guessing
as soon as
probably
I knew
Crunk did.
exactly what it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was coming. It's such a good
So-
hit.
It had
That's-
to be.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
mean, there was a lot of attention on that war. We were on Adam's stream. Like ATN was like blowing up. It was CWL Esports Season 1, so it had a lot of attention on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, it was like a flawless Lalubet. And we were talking about it on voice, like as the war was going on. He's like, I think I see a Lalubet. I was just like, fucking do it.
Why
do
not?
it.
Yeah.
Do it. Why not? Yeah, fucking do it.
It wasn't even a thing back then. Like nowadays, it's more common, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
cool,
early.
man. So, how do you cope with dealing with the pressure at high level wars? Is the world's, in fact, you weren't in the world. So, what's the highest pressure war you've been in, and how did you deal with that? I want to change that question slightly.
He just triples.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. So I don't know. I'm
Crunk
not
is
really
disconnected.
nervous playing. I'm not really nervous playing Clash. Like even in like big wars or something. Like if it's a player forward. Like when I joined Tribe, like the first wars, I was a little bit nervous because of course you want to make a good impression. Like I felt more pressure than I usually do. But like in general, like now when I'm playing with Tribe, like it's a war, and yeah, I'm just gonna have fun and triple.
Cool, man. You kind of getting back into your groove. Yeah, I think I know that feeling. Like not that I've ever played for Tribe, but if you go to play for another team, or you're just hanging out with the people you don't know, you've got this you want to perform better in front of them, don't you? So yeah, you end up putting extra pressure on yourself. But the way you deal with that is you just triple. Is that basically what happens? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm playing a lot of Clash, and like all these friendly wars and stuff I'm doing just gives you like a certain safety, I guess. Like, I know, like if I play in a Queen Charge, for example, I know how it's gonna go in my head, like, unless I screw something up. So that gives you like a certain amount of security, I guess, which makes you more confident in your plan, and you're less nervous.
Cool. Happy days. Right, Hertha, you can have a rest now. Well done. Zane, let's move on to you. Golden X. So, the most interesting thing about the Golden X roster is that it's got 10 bods in it. So, are you clear on how that's going to work? Is it going to be performance based, or is it proper rotation? Give us an insight into that.
You know, I'm so new in the system over there that you know, like we have 10 people, but everybody's not on every roster, you know, so it's different community leagues and mobile open, and, you know, because most community leagues don't have 10-man roster availability. You can put 7 or 8 maybe, you know, so yeah, as far as like the inner workings of like who gets to play and stuff, like that's a little above my pay grade. But yeah, man, it's a group of really strong players. So it makes you want to, you know, perform well so that you get to play, because, you know, riding the bench sucks. So, you know, whatever.
And so, what was it that drew you towards Golden X?
You know, I played with Brian Fan Club and the guys that I played with in Brian Fan Club before it was called that for the entire extent that I played competitive since Town Hall 12. So, things happen over time, little petty things here and there, and you see how certain things play out in like the competitive esports world. And just like when I was thinking if I was gonna leave Brian Fan Club and go play somewhere else, I was like, well, where do I want to play? And the list was very short, and Golden X was at the top of that list, so that's what I chose.
Cool, man. I like that. So how do you cope with real life balance? How do you balance the game and real life?
So, for these guys that know me, they know how like random my days are because I work for myself. So, and I do all kinds of stuff to pay the bills and make money. So one day I'll be out pressure washing a house. I'm a personal trainer. I'm up 5-6 o'clock in the morning in the gym. I train some football players. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I have a son due in 6 weeks. That's why the car is like a funny thing because I did a lot of wars in the car in between like shit I had to do. So yeah, that's just how it goes. I am very competitive. And then, so if I'm in a war, like I'm going to try and give it my best effort. So I'm going to be on voice, like I'm going to be planning. I'm on Discord. I'm paying attention. I just might be doing it in the car.
Nice, man. So what about your expectations, your goals? What do you want to achieve in the game?
I think I'm about as good as I'm ever going to get. And there's a lot of people out there that are better than me at this game, and they don't even try as hard as I do. So some people are just better at stuff. I want to win another tournament. We won 2 tournaments as Brian Fan Club, so I want to feel that again. Like win another tournament. But I really want to be in one of those pictures of like the whole team.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, I want to do stuff like Penta does, like Muffin and those guys, like the phones, like they got the social media shit figured out. That's really fun to look at.
So that's your goal, and I like that as a Clash goal. I reckon we could probably sort that out. Possibly a way of doing that. But yeah,
get a jersey. Get a jersey. I mean, granted, like COVID has to go away, so live events can become a thing again.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to like play on a stage. My wife's job houses one of the biggest esports studios in the United States. It's like I have sat at the table in the studio when there's not an event going on, but I want to sit there and like play. Like I want to feel it in person.
Cool. Well, that's awesome. I like that as a goal. So tell us about your role in EYG as a clan leader. How were you involved in that?
So, make a long story super short, I got into competitive play at first as a Town Hall 10 and then Town Hall 11, like the beginning of CWL. And then I quit playing competitive because it was like a little stressful at the time, and I just wasn't really that into it. So I just went to like the original farm clan that like I started in, and became like the leader of the clan. And it was getting hard to like get people into the clan and keep people in the clan and stuff. So like found EYG, joined EYG, got the clan into EYG, and then became like a like a server admin, like leader type role on the EYG community Discord. Did behind the scenes like leadership stuff for a while, and then when I decided to get back into playing competitive at Town Hall 12, it slowly shifted from like run this farm clan to like play competitive again. You know,
Right, yeah.
And then now I don't have a leadership role in anything. All I do is just show up and play.
Do you prefer that, or do you miss being involved in the decision making side of things?
If you're gonna be a competitive player, then you need to focus on your competitive ability. The more you do, in my opinion, the more you do other than get ready for your match, the less prepared you are when the match starts. So, you know, if you're running around doing this, that, and the third, it just wasn't the best use of your time if your goal is just to win a match. You know.
Cool.
So, no, I don't I don't miss doing leadership stuff at all. Keeping a team together is super stressful. Running a clan is super stressful, especially if you have high expectations for it. So,
talking about pressure from other places and high expectations, the next question is from Kronk.
Don't skip this question.
Don't skip.
I don't skip it. I'm so glad you're going to ask this question.
All right, okay.
I think he knows what's coming.
The way you said, I thought you said skip this question. I was like,
no,
okay. It says, Kronk has written here, is it true that your wife puts pressure on you to win money in the game? And what's the story
100%.
there? Yeah,
100%. Because I'm a married man. I got kids. You know what I mean? So, I got, and then not only that, like I said earlier, like I'm a hustler, man. I'm out here just working however I feel like working to come up with money. Like I don't got a real life boss and stuff. I gotta, you know, I create this stuff for myself. So all this time I spend playing Clash, you know, my wife is like, you know, like, what, you know, you're gonna win some money. You're gonna win some money. I tell her I'm in the mobile open. The mobile open takes a ton of time, you know.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, and at the time that this the reason this question got asked, at the time the top 32 teams still got paid in mobile open. It was easier to win some money, and my wife came in and we were in a match. She had the voice chat on. She came in the room and she was just like, babe, like I know you really want to like do this gaming thing and win money doing that, but $33 just isn't going to cut it. And at $33 is what you got for coming in 32nd in mobile open. Like, so she was like, "This shit ain't gonna work," you know. I just left the voice on because I thought it was funny. So the whole team heard it, and then she was like, "Wait a minute." She was like, "You got the voice on," and then everybody's just like, "Ah." But yeah, you know. What, just motivation to do better, you know, do better than 32nd place in mobile open, come up with a check more than $33.
Yeah, you know, that's fair enough.
that was the early days, you know, the early days of mobile open. But yeah.
So
she wants me to win money. I spend a lot of time doing this.
Quite right. Yeah, that makes sense. So you've got you're going to come across former Brang Fan Club members like Hertha and current Brang Fan Club members as well. When you come up against them in future tourneys, whose base are you, like, if you're, you know, before the match and you see the lineup, before you've seen the bases and you're like, I want that base, who's that in Brang Fan Club?
You know, I don't know. Well, we wouldn't be playing Brang Fan Club again.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't really matter.
Gotta be Russ, surely.
Nah, you know, Russ is a clever base builder. You know, you think you got his number, and then his bases end up being really good. So, being that I know so much about the players, I would probably target the person who I know has like the worst bases, which I'm not gonna put that out there, you know, but you know, like inside,
I have an idea who you
know what I
mean.
mean? Like I know who's bullshitting, like getting their bases ready week to week. So.
Happy days. Right, so we're gonna keep an eye out on who you attack, and the next time that Golden X and HFC take on each other, we'll see who Zane attacks, and then we know the answer to that question. Happy days.
Yeah.
Alex, how's it going, man? Sorry, you've been sitting there for ages. I've realised that this is not as much of a discussion as much as just like interviewing separate people. It's a little bit. We need some more sort of chat in this. But how's it going, man? You've been missing from Twitch for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm doing good. It's actually pretty interesting for me. Like, I feel like I've known Zane and Hertha and Crunk and everything for quite a while, but then stuff like this, it gives a bit more of an insight, so it's quite cool. Just to like get to know them a bit more, I guess. But yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm enjoying my break. Yeah.
And it is a break, yeah? You're coming back.
I don't know. I say it's a break, but I've no plans on returning anytime soon. But I don't know. Just wait and see.
Okay, fair enough. So we've got no set date.
Yep.
Oh, that's slightly disappointing. But you know, at least it means that thing that I wrote on my Twitter account right at the dawn of time, when I genuinely didn't know there was any other Scottish streamers that doing Clash of Clans, and I was like Scotland's #1 Clash of Clans streamer. At least now that's true until you come back.
I was about to say technically you are now the #1 because you've got more followers than me. So
not on the YouTube.
Not on YouTube, but yeah.
We wanted y'all to fight. We wanted beef.
Yeah, it's a shame they've actually gotten on so well.
Trying to set this up for a problem.
Yeah, no. When Mac first came into the scene, I was the one that was like promoting him. Mac was begging me. He was in my DMs, like, "Oh, could I stream this more, please?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like promoting him, so you know, Mac's only where he is because
it's true.
You know.
It's true. I owe it all to Alex. Go on then. So let's talk about just before you finished off. I mean, it's not that you've stopped doing stuff on the Clash of Clans scene. You're still playing and all that. It's just the stream that you're going to make. But you also run a lot of events. You ran like Alpha League and all that. But you did this the Mirror Cup recently. How did that go? Did you enjoy that, or was it just?
Yeah.
pain?
So I've wanted like all the stuff I've ran before was all like Town Hall 14 kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like I do enjoy that, but I've always enjoyed the lower town halls as well. So I was like, I'll do something, you know, for these lower town halls and just sort of see what the community is like down there, what the sort of scene is and whatnot. And it's very stressful. I'm not gonna lie down there. The issue with those lower town halls is you find it tends to be younger people that have picked up the game more recently, so therefore they're not at Town Hall 14s, they're more like Town Hall 8s, Town Hall 9s. So you end up dealing with a lot of young kids, which is it's tough. But I enjoyed playing in them. I played in every single one pretty much, other than the Town Hall 11 and 12. So I had a laugh. But I don't think I'll be doing those again. But it was an experience to say the least. Yeah.
Cool. So tell us about Dramas and running it. What's so the question here is, how much did it take out of you? I know that it takes a lot out of you. I know it takes a lot of anyone running leagues. If you see anyone that's running leagues, they're always maxed out and stressed. You look at like Crunk with EYG Open. I'm sure he has a very similar experience, and there's always a big team around you as well. What about what's the toughest problem that you've had with one of your competitions, and how did you go about fixing it?
So it's probably an Alpha League. I messed up. So you obviously with the Alpha League qualifiers, everyone gets they get a defense score and an offense score, and I can't remember what season it was, but I did everything by hand. Me and Lil put everything in manually, and when you've got like 600 results to put in, it's, you know, there's always going to be some sort of human error there. And
Yeah.
I'd put someone's like defense score or something in wrong, and it meant they didn't qualify when they should have qualified, and it ended up being quite a big drama. But I mean, we rectified it all. But yeah, that was probably the biggest issue I had to deal with, because, you know, if you think you've qualified and then the admins are going, no, you've not, even though you know you have, you're never just gonna be like, okay, no problem. You're always gonna, you know, kick up a fuss, and they did, but it's fine. We rectified it, so it was all good. But every league, every tournament comes with drama. From all kinds of different people, but I mean, good admins can just deal with it, and I found the block button to be very, very helpful. You know, if someone came at me with some stupid issue, I would just tell them the answer and then just block them, so they couldn't hit me with some stupid response, and it worked most of the time. So, yep.
There we go. Good days. Nexus Design. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
We've got Jason in the chat. as well.
Yeah.
So don't lay into him.
So obviously, I've taken a break from streaming, from YouTube, from everything, and I've been pretty passionate about design for quite a while. And Jason's a really good designer. When he came into the scene, I was like, this guy's like, he's really, really good. He was in EYG, which is great. He was friends with everyone from BFC, which was great. And I was like, do you know what? It just makes sense for us to kind of partner up. So we did. And to be fair, the server's been absolutely popping off. We're getting so much design work. It's actually difficult to keep up with a lot of the requests, but big shout out to Jason. He's been crushing it, and it's good getting back into doing some proper design work again. So yeah,
happy days. And Crunk's last question here, he's written, are you going to win the EYG 1v1 Town Hall 9 League?
Yeah, obviously.
I love how quickly Hertha's shaking his head. Like Hertha says,
Hertha, you playing in it?
Competition.
Crunk,
no.
you might need to tell us a little bit about this Town Hall 9 1v1 League. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so pretty much we wanted to expand the UIG Open this season, make it more inclusive to all Town Hall levels, and we noticed in the past quite a lot of people in the game have joined the server, and they want to find a clan to play the UIG Open in. But in this, we've done a 1v1 series where anyone can just turn up and sign up and play themselves. So we've done a Town Hall 9. It's just bracket only. Play at your own pace. We'll do the bracket and update it. We'll provide a clan for all the players to go to and do their friendly war and give them the rules, and we'll do the mediating if any's required. So for Town Hall 10, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, we've just got that. It's very easy to manage. All we've got to do is just randomise the bracket and input the results. So it's not a lot of stress on the admin team with mediations. And obviously we're doing the same at Town Hall 14, but we're having a Battle Royale at the end of it, which I think you've done a Battle Royale for us before, and so has Alex. And we've got 16. We're going to have 16 invited players for the final of that, and the other 16 players will come from a bracket. So the last 16 players in a bracket will automatically go into the final, and that's a $450 Battle Royale tournament that'll last 2 to 3 hours, and it's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun to stream. It's a lot of fun to be in the stream, and you got everyone popping off in chat, and it's just something a bit different, really, to other leagues, and it keeps things fresh. And that's it, right? Pretty much. It'd be good to start Alex in there, obviously, with his Town Hall 9. Hopefully, he doesn't get first rounded. Hertha will be in there, showing we can do it at other Town Hall levels. Maybe Zane will even sign up if he's up for it.
Yeah,
we don't know, really.
I'm not even sure if I'm going to play that, but I just played 5v5 at Town Hall 9 with Alex, and that's why I'm sure he won't win it.
I love that. That's brilliant. It wasn't because Hertha thinks he's godly.
We're playing in. I've just went and bought us all bases, but I'm going to return the base that I've just paid for you. So unbelievable.
Nice. I think Kian might be playing as well. Kian's asking about the Town Hall 9 tourney as well. So hopefully we get some more people signing up.
God, looks like get unbanned from the server. I have to message Cobbs, Kian, or message Alex. Actually, message Alex.
Yeah, no bother. I've not got.
He'll sort you out. He's going to become an admin.
Yeah, Alex. Me and Kian are good pals.
Happy days. Right, what else are we going to talk about? I lost my. That one says invalid too. That Kian, that might be if you're banned from the server. So, yeah. We might need to fix that. Crunk, EYG Open Season 3. Now, I'll be honest, Crunk, yesterday when we were talking, this was quite last minute planned. Yesterday when we talked about coming on, you mentioned announcing the EYG Open Season 3. Now, I see that the server has already announced everything, the tweets have all gone out, because your admin team are far too well organised and have actually spread all the news already. But tell us about it anyway. Tell us all about Season 3 of the EYG Open.
Yeah, we've just announced it, and we're pretty much sticking with a similar setup because it works. Tweaking a few little things. Obviously, we've got the Pro Division. We are going to have 48 invited teams this season, but to be invited, you've got to apply. We don't just chase you and find an invite. And most of those teams, they invite themselves from their performances in previous seasons. So take the top 32 from last season, the top 8 from the second division from last season, then a few winners and finalists from the seasons before. Then we've got like 4 or 5 spots, like just as wild cards, pretty much, for like new teams that have formed and everything. Then the other 48 teams will qualify for the Pro Division, and 96 teams will qualify for the second division. Then we've got the Rookie Division, which is completely separate. That's for like teams who've never done that before. Just want to have a go, pretty much. Like if you're like someone like Cobbs and you don't know what you're doing, and you've never played Clash, well, you play Clash when you're just absolutely hopeless, then that's for you. Or like if you just want to give it a go in general, just give it a go. It's a shorter season as well. There's only like 3 group. Everyone's guaranteed 3 group games in Rookie. And there's a little prize at the end. It's not huge, but it's something to like have a bit of fun, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And we've got a mixed breakdown league, like 10v10, 2 hours. It's a small prize again, but it seems to be quite popular and people like it. It's just something a bit different for mixed breakdown clans, really.
Nice. How are you going to make sure that pro players don't sign up for your Rookie Division?
Well,
that's definitely happened in the past.
Yeah, Masters Show put up an announcement about that earlier today. That's going to be checked in depth. Well, luckily, between us all the admins and stuff, we know the community quite well, and obviously we got our records from last season of who played on what team, how each team did. We generally know if the clan's taken, because obviously there's always like some people who try and drop down and just to win the easy money and that, but that's not what it's about. It's just about turning up, having a laugh and having a go, really. If they are trying to sneak in, they'll probably just be kicked off the server and not invited again, because it's not what we're about at all.
Yeah,
to be honest. Wait a sec, I might have some news. 1 sec. I just want to check the Discord room. Zim has just put something in the chat.
Zane, is it intentional, the backwards camera? So the backwards spelling of noob. Zane has now frozen just as I ask him a question. There we go, Zane, you're back.
Does it not work, dude? It works on my screen, but I had a feeling it was like not working on this. I can't see the screen. Was it backwards?
It was backwards.
Which one is right?
The first one you got was right.
The first one was right, and then you took it away and wrote it backwards, and I was well confused. I was like,
I thought you thought the camera was flipped, and I was like,
it's like it's the front-facing camera on my phone.
It's throwing you, yeah.
No, hold up, I got it, dude. Let me just fold the paper.
Yeah, just
there we go. Right, cool.
I just saw in the chat that Burnt Base are now going for a premium package, and they will be the named title of the second division. So it will be the Burnt Base Expert Division in EYG. So a big thank you to like Zim and the whole gang for just giving us that news right now. That's pretty much an exclusive for you on the show.
That's brilliant. So you've got the Expert Division for is that the top? Is that the new name for the Pro League, or is that the sort of one down?
That's the middle division. It's going to be every team is professional. Last season, the final of that division was Aphelion Pompanite, which is ridiculous for a second division, and it's just have those sort of teams be willing to go in the second division. Pretty much says something about the tournament and what you've done. So we're very happy with everything, pretty much, and that's about it, really.
Happy days. B Money says, I didn't know we were going to listen to Kronk talk the whole time. There you go. Pure love from B Money.
You tell him.
Yeah, rookie divisions for him as well. To be fair.
Yeah, B Money's got a special pass to rookie. So final
Come out
of
retired,
season 2. Did you guys see the final? Did you watch Space Station Gamer versus Hanoi? Did any of you guys see it?
Yeah, I watched it. It's like kind of like.
Well done, Crunk watched it. You know, at least someone was there.
It was poorly advertised.
Well, to be honest, like this Scottish streamer called Mackenzie, was DMing me asking me when the final was, and I was like, yeah, this is So I finally it took a while to set up the final, and I DM'd him like, this is when the final is. It's like, oh, great. And then obviously it's a final, so you get 13 streamers reacting to the final. He's like, it was on a Saturday in the middle of the day. He couldn't make it. And then all of a sudden, on the day, 2 of the biggest English-speaking streamers also couldn't make it. So we had Adam pretty much streaming it. Adam and Aries being the only ones streaming it. So he had a big missed opportunity there.
Yeah,
I
saw it going on. I saw everyone reacting. I thought it's not worth it. That's been my experience. And Alex probably have something. That's been my experience on Twitch for quite a lot. Just recently, you stream something finals, and usually. you just get blown out the water. Yeah, and it always happens in finals. You just get blown out the water by other streamers. And I was like, I'm not doing it again. I'm going to go and stream Titan Global Gaming against Queen Walkers. You know, they're playing a decent team. That'll be interesting. I'll stream that. That'll be fine. In the LIC, there was 14 people streaming that war, and 2 people pulled out of the EYG final, and there was just 2 people. I mean, Adam would still have blown out the water because it's Adam, and he draws a massive crowd. But there was hardly anyone streaming it, and when that came, when I realised that, I was like, oh well, it's done now. But yeah, it's that sod's law, isn't it? So. B Money, was it B Money? You asked a question for Crunk earlier on, didn't you? Something about losing. Ask Crunk about the bet he lost that forced him to go to the shop with a helmet on. Have you got a story there, Crunk, you want to share?
He's one of the biggest trolls I've ever met in my life, this B Money guy. I would like to actually see him on the Mac report, but I don't think I've got the bottle to do it. He'll sit there and he'll be one of those guys in chat typing away. But yeah, I'll tell you the stories. I lost a bet out of Clash, and when you lose a bet, you pay up. It's not something I was planning to lose or anything. And you go to the shop, you do what you got to do, and pay your debt, and that's it. Pretty much. But he always remembered. That was going to a local supermarket in very few clothes and a skateboarding helmet, and buy a few items and come home. That was it.
Quality.
I'm a bit worried. He's
doesn't have any more story there.
But yeah,
it's also up until this point the only picture I've ever seen of Crunk.
Yeah, it's in his underwear.
I've never seen his face. I've just seen him in underwear wearing a skate helmet in the supermarket.
And Jason's like, wow, that really was you. I mean, someone needs to DM me that picture, to be honest. That needs to happen.
It's on the BBC, so
we could definitely bring that up. But it's just like a little face icon for Crunk while he's talking. That's what we could do.
We got to coerce him to face reveal in some fashion. That might be the only way.
I'll do it. It's just I don't have the equipment right now I can't just sit down for an hour and be on stream. But it'll happen. If when you get to a live final, any of you guys, well, actually that might happen pretty soon with Hertha. Well, no, we'll work something out. We'll work something out in the future.
Russ has DM'd me.
Is it the picture?
Russ has sent me the picture.
Yeah.
Right, we'll think about that in a little while. We'll see how valuable that is about keeping on, about putting on. Crunk, tell me a little bit more about the EYG Open. What divisions have you got? Prize pools, all that sort of fun stuff. Because I know that Nexus are involved as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing all the artwork and stuff, which is awesome. Jason, not Alex. Alex did Artwork for one season. Now, like he's just sort of managing Nexus, giving Jason all the work, stepping back, like as you would expect, like this stream pretty much. You got you doing all the casting, and he's just sitting there taking all the plaudit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Is that not what you meant to do? It works for me.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, to see Jason in his chat, he knows it.
To be fair, Jason's doing a great job, so I don't want to step on his toes, you know.
God, if you go back in yourself, you might ruin the reputation that he's built up.
Exactly, that's it.
But yeah, the $3,000 overall. Pro is $1,500 minimum. That might be pushed up a little bit. Burnt Base Division is a bit lower. That's like between 300 to 500. Nexus Division's 100, and a few little art things from Jason. Maybe Alex will sponsor a few little art things. Maybe he'll sponsor a stream.
Maybe.
Then we've got all the 1v1 divisions, and oh my god, what's going on? And that's about it, really.
Happy days. Right, let's. We need to get Zane talking because he's causing mischief. He's like the bad kid at the back of the class. Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So let's get everyone talking now. We've chatted. We need to discuss something. Let's chat about the world sort of side of things. Golden ticket winners. We have seen, which is really weird. We have seen in the finals of May, June, and July. We've seen completely different teams each time. That for me is insane. But if you look at who's finally got the golden tickets, we've got Queen Walkers, ATN, and Tompanai. It's basically a rerun of last year. What's going on with that? Is that? Would you guys predict that? Is that what you were expecting to see?
Yeah, I mean, I would have predicted they would be in it definitely again. They were the best teams last time, and I don't think anything's really changed. It's pretty much exactly the same players, so I don't think they just suddenly go bad overnight. Other teams, I would say, are definitely giving them more competition, though. You know, we've seen Queen Walkers; they're quite up and down, I would say, at the moment. Sometimes they're getting beat by kind of nobody teams, and then sometimes they're putting up perfect wars against like whoever, and it's, I don't know, very up and down. But yeah, I would say I would expect all them to be in. Obviously, alternate attacks getting in there straight away at the start. That was no surprise to anyone, but it'll definitely be interesting, I think, to see who else gets there. There's a few teams I would love to see in there, but I don't know if they'll make it, but we'll see.
Who do you think is going to get?
Obviously, Tribe with Hertha. That'd be sweet. To see them get in more because I just want to see how he actually does an attack live. Because most people use tablets or iPads or whatever, but Hertha attacks on his phone. Now, I don't know how you can possibly do that, you know. Yeah, I just can't work it out. So I want to see how he does it, but yeah, it'd be interesting.
I can do a live Legends.
Zane, what about you? What is your what are your predictions? Who do you want to see, or who do you think is going to appear in the final 3 golden tickets?
You know, whoever you would assume. MCES, Monster, NY Amazing, Fatang, you know. Some of my favorite players in the game are Brazilian. I think the Brazilian teams always are really good, but NGT Legends maybe, you know. Ints was my favorite team for like the longest time. So I'm not entirely sure like how that whole situation got rearranged, but if like Ints was still a thing, then them, you know, but you know, I don't know.
What about you, Hertha? I mean, I imagine you'd quite like Tribe to get there, possibly next month when you're playing for them.
And I also think, like, I really want to see MCS there just because, like, out of the creativity of their attacks and stuff, they're, like, way above everyone else. It's just, you know, sometimes they get too fancy, I guess, and stumble across it. But, like, I really hope they get a spot. And the third spot would probably I'd agree with saying, like, something like NGT Legends or even QSFN are doing pretty well right now. Maybe some like team that would surprise all of us. Would be cool as well. Some underdog no one had on his radar.
I think the big surprise last month was Rest appearing in the lineup.
Yep.
That was awesome to see.
They absolutely crushed it.
Yeah,
they did really well.
And they didn't just turn up and then like, oh, and they're out first round. Like they
were putting up
performed.
perfect wars and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant. What about you, Kronk? What are your predictions?
I haven't really been that dialed in on Worlds this year because it's in the middle of the night and
it's hard.
Really anywhere near that interested or dedicated to stay up that late. If it was in the middle of the day, yes, I'll probably watch a war or two, but I would like to see Tribe Gaming in there, to see Hertha in action, just see him doing his interview and seeing what he does to get on camera and how he arranges it all, and just see a master in action, basically, because I've pretty much seen his journey from the beginning, coming in as like a new player and having his little bromance with Luke and doing his bases and grow into this player, like rejects every single poach in the game until the Real Madrid clash comes along. But yeah, I think you'll see Tribe. I think it'd be nice to see Tribe there, and obviously MCES, and I'd like to see Space Station there as well, because I like Space Station. You always want to support like an English speaking team and have someone to like. And I quite like the guys there. I think Beer's cool, and it'd just be good to see them in like the final. There's so many teams that like, you don't know who's going to come out of the pack on any certain month. To be honest, it's very open.
What about Supercell CWL then? So I saw a tweet today. Someone said, I wish Supercell CWL was 5v5. And I can't believe when they came up with this stuff, that was something that I think possibly we might even talked about it, Kronk. I'm amazed that Champs 1 hasn't been turned into a 5v5 league. This 15v15 to then pick 5 of your players, which means that blatantly you've got some people that are using bot accounts in there, which is against terms of service. I'm not accusing anyone, but that's gonna have to have happened, because unless you've got 10 mates that are going to throw them in, it just seems like mad. It feels like Supercell are forcing something. What are we thinking? What do you guys think?
It's a ridiculous system. It's absolutely ridiculous. You see some teams, like, was it SSG last time or was it Tribe actually got matched up with 2 teams that were pretty much with all burner accounts, so they could easily get perfect wars. And it's those sort of ones that I'm like, it's just so stupid. Like, Supercell needs to do something to fix it, because obviously you can't really, fix who you're matching up with, but sometimes you get incredibly lucky and just basically get given perfect wars. And why run a 5v5 event for the main event but have the qualifiers 15v15? It just makes no sense. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. But I can't see them changing it. They'll obviously keep it for the rest of the, until this World Championships are done. But yeah, I don't know whose brain fart that was, but it's poor, I'd say.
I think they should keep SCWL for 15 people. They should just like separate it from Worlds. Like, I think it's a good thing to like get more people involved. Like, normal clans, I'd say, always have like 20, 30, 40 members. So if you only can use 5 in your like highest clan, it would be bad for all these other players. But like, I just think if they keep it on like 15 players versus 15 players, it should not have anything to do with Worlds. And then said they could put up like a different price, like in Legends, where you get gems if you finish in the top 4 or something.
Yeah.
Like some sort of prize, no, probably not prize money, because who's going to sponsor it, but like some like in-game, gems or whatever.
Yeah.
Not a spot for Worlds, or like an advantage in Worlds qualifiers, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you're right, actually. They could still have if you're in Champions League, then you get to enter in. Like, if you're in the Champions, or maybe even just Champions 1 and 2, that's how they refine it down a little bit. You get to participate and put yourself forward. But you don't have these teams that are this top 64 that are automatically shoved forward, because, then you've got this sort of really strange situation where, was it ATN that after the month that they won Worlds, they then just played, like, it was like, they had, like, just loads of low-level accounts in their clans taking part as well. And it's just...
You dropped down to Champs 2.
Yeah, but, like, you can't... But that meant that while they were doing that drop, they were basically almost given it's not win trading in the same way, but they were given free wins inadvertently to whoever they were randomly spun with. So it's a really interesting thing. I'm not accusing ATN of not being fair play.
That's,
you know
what,
what
it sounded like to me.
So yeah,
you got to show up on qualifier day, whether you play day 1 or day 2 or play both days. Like, you still got to win a whole tournament bracket. They could just easy fix is just give 15 people a bye if you're top 64 instead of 5 people. So you make the 15 people line up in SCCWL all have the same benefit because there's good clans all throughout the game that are just picking up whoever for SCCWL every month because they want the bye day. They're people aren't helping each other out in the same way. Just give 3 teams a bye. Make it less than top 64. Make it top 32. 3 teams. 15 players. You got 3 5v5 teams. There's no reason that if you got 15 people and when it's usually more than that. It's usually 17 or 18 people that play on an SCCWL roster, and then you get top 64, which pretty much means you won your week in Champions 1, and then only 5 people get a bye day. So you got 10, 11, 12 other people that are still playing the qualifier day, the first day. That part doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, I don't know. They'll figure it out. It's far from the worst thing in the game.
What's the worst thing in the game then, Zane? That's a nice one. What do you like most about the game? What do you dislike the most as well?
I like playing the game. It's a fun game, and I like the 5v5 format. Quick wars, 30-minute war, 45-minute war, hour war. 15-minute prep day is miserable now. Like, I like it quick and fast.
Yeah.
So those things are like positives. But negative is just it's they've and I guess it depends on if you want to look at it as negative or positive. So I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, have you ever seen like professional darts on television or like professional bowling, right? If it's darts, then it's just fucking bullseye, 20, 19. You know what I mean? They don't miss. Bowling, it's just like strike. And whoever loses is the person who misses once, And I feel like that's the way they've set up Clash of Clans now, to where it's so friendly on offense and so forgiving on defense that if you miss your execution, it's a wrap. Like, you're probably going to lose the war. On a professional, like, winning a world tournament kind of stage, like, where you miss once and it's a wrap, especially if you miss first. Like, you put up if a team that's playing, say, like the last 8 teams in the world championships puts up a 75% 2-star, their first attack, you pretty much can turn off the stream. Like, that war's over. You know what I mean? So you just can't miss. Just bullseye. So it's fun for people who like to get triples easily, and it's less fun if you are really into like the strategic aspect of the game, of coming up with something more specific to break down a base versus just, I got 5 Dragon Riders, 9 Infernos, and 8 balloons, and I go into this base from 3 different sides and it's still going to wreck it, and somebody just paid $20 for the base. So, like, I don't know, you might think that's good. Ultimately, like, it feels good to win. So everything else is just symptoms, or side effects of what it takes to, try and win a game you're trying to play. You just deal with it.
It's a really difficult balance, isn't it? That you've got the top level, or people aspiring to be the top level through the esports side of things, and then you've got, on the other side of things, you've got casual players, and there's a big casual community who, like, I remember, was it Town Hall 12? That was so hard. Like, the hit rate was so low. And people, I think, you probably found that people were just walking away from the game, in terms of casual players, I mean, because the hit rate at the top level was so hard that people were not enjoying never tripling. So yeah, it is a really difficult balance getting that thing. I quite like that. If it used to be if there was a 1-star, you were like, this war is that's a big mistake. I think you're right now. I think that's shifted. It's not a 1-star anymore. It's kind of like a 70-75% 2-star is like, that's when you're like, oh no, this team's in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, and if for the people who's been playing for like a long time, see, Clash of Clans, I think, is a game that wasn't intended to last as long as it did, and then it developed into like an esports arena in a way that it wasn't prepared for initially. When Town Hall 10 was the max Town Hall in the game, it was nearly impossible to triple 10 versus 10. Like, if you had a max Town Hall 10, level 40 King, level 40 Queen, like the red walls, it's a wrap. Like, you're not tripling. You couldn't heal through Infernos. You know what I mean? Like, Infernos just shredded everything. Multi-Inferno would melt your army. And so competitive play back then was just like, limit how many times you have to dip 10 versus 9 so that you can get as many, shots at a 10 to run the percentage up. And a triple in Town Hall 10s is like, I guess part of the, reason that, modding took such a hold of the game at that time, because it was so hard. And then, you'd have these teams that would come through and they'd hit the 10s before the 9s were even cleared. And you're like, wait a minute, bro. like y'all are no, like, you didn't just Queen Charge Lilo this Town Hall 10 and get 100%. You know what I mean? Like, so you think 12 was hard. You should have seen it when Town Hall 10 was maxed. And then Town Hall 11 came out in the Eagle, and some people were just like, I quit. The Eagle it destroyed everything. But yeah, the hardest the game ever was Town Hall 10. And then Town Hall 11 came out, and in my opinion, they've softened it each Town Hall level ever since. Like, Town Hall 10 is up here, and then 11, 12, 13, 14. Now to the point it's almost like comically easy for a competitive game.
Hertha, what do you think? What's your best bit of the game? What's your worst bit of the game? What's your favorite?
His Legends League log is interesting, I'll tell you that.
Yes, I hate being in Legends League. I just hate Legends spaces, and yeah, I'm not enjoying Legends League. I guess that's the worst part about the game right now for me. And the best part is just, I don't know. Yeah, I think I agree with Zane, like all these short format competitive wars, like you can do like, I don't know, 10 friendly wars back to back and it's not getting boring. Especially if you've got people around, or if you're even on voice with some people, you can have a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, I think that's the best part. And also, like, the best addition they ever made to Clash is like friendly wars, especially with the 5-minute prep, the 15-minute wars, or 30-minute wars. It's like the best addition they've ever made to Clash, in my opinion.
Thanks.
Yeah, cool. Alex, what about you? What's your thoughts? Best and worst? I think this is a great question. So it's not on the list that we had, but
I'm not particularly good at the game. So with Zane going, "Oh, it's piss easy," I'm like, "Is it?" But I guess that's because I've never really been much into the competitive side. I've always just more been like a casual player. I can't really say I've ever put very much effort into trying to improve myself. I just stream other people who are already better than me, or I used to stream. So for me, I guess judging on my Legends League, I'm pretty trash. So the game kind of seems relatively balanced, but that's because I'm way out of the competitive scene at the moment. I'm not really keeping up with it. So I don't know. I can't really pass judgment on that, I would say, at the moment.
What about, like, what do you enjoy most about the game, and what do you find most frustrating?
I really enjoy farming, to be honest. Just like, because I've, like, you guys probably know, like, I was way behind like with my base, like most people were like max 10 or 13s, and I was still like a 10 or 11 or something. So like I was really far behind, but I put a lot of effort in, just like farming a lot, and with Lil overtaking me, I was like, nah, I can't have that. So don't know, just fun, I guess, just chilling, farming and that. Yeah.
Happy days, happy days. Crunk, what about yourself? What do you find most frustrating? And what do you enjoy most?
I find it frustrating listening to Zane and Hertha saying how easy the game is, because it is not easy.
Thank you.
Absolute rubbish. It is. The game is difficult. I don't. It might be easy for them, like the minority, like people who know what they're doing, but like people who have no idea what they're doing, nah, it's or just the average everyday person. It's pretty difficult still. I don't know, man. Like I get frustrated. Like at the moment, I don't have a lot of time to play the game, and I'm not very good at it. I used to be a bit better, but not that good. And now I'm just complete trash, and it's annoying. It's difficult. Hey, we just lost Hertha.
Yeah, sorry. He says he's gonna go and get a drink. I don't think he realised that when he left, he would completely ruin the setup. But it's okay. It's just popped up with your little name where it says Hertha now, so it's fine.
I ruined it.
Happy days. Guys, we have we've got so many questions, but we're not even really there. And I think we're kind of overrunning. Is there?
Just do a couple of quick fire ones or something.
Yeah, do you guys want to ask each other some questions? And anyone in the chat, if you want to ask some questions, go for it as well.
I've got a feeling Alex wants to pop off quickly because it's overrun. I know, like he's taking his streaming break because Love Island's on at the moment. He'll probably be after that.
It's 20 minutes since Love Island.
I just want to.
Is that a thing? What's Love Island?
What's Love Island?
Just some absolute trash.
It's like a nickname for Scotland, huh?
Love Island is just, I don't know. Alex, you want to describe Love Island?
Quality TV, that's what it is.
Is it though?
Yeah,
Is
great viewing. Great viewing. Love a bit of drama.
Oh, it's funny.
What you drinking, bro?
What's that?
What you drinking?
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Nice.
Yes.
Hans has asked a
Really
question.
hard to
Here we
get.
go. Hans in the chat has asked. It's not already been asked, Hans, but here we go. Does Hertha have some insight on Evechek? He's never seen him anymore. Is Evechek? Do you know with your links within Tribe? Is that? Do you have any insight, Hertha, or is the answer are really boring? No, I don't know anything.
It's pretty boring. Like
Yeah.
I think it's just getting more busy with work again now that COVID gets kind of array and people have to go into office again and stuff. It's just not around as much, but he's still like part of Tribe and still playing Wars. Maybe just missed him when he played. Like I know he plays like just as often as I do, so
Okay, cool.
he's not retiring or anything.
So Hans just needs to basically watch more streams.
I've got a question for Hertha. What's it like having the best hit rate in Tribe?
I don't know if that's true.
Seems to be true. Every stream I watch, you're the one that always triples every time.
I've got a good run at the moment. I guess like everyone's got like better runs, and then others are gonna carry at other points. And like, just look at like Melvin or Kronos like going perfect in the entirety of the like pre-qualifier when they qualified for the actual event. Like everyone's got like better days and worse days, and like yeah, I just had some good days lately, but yeah, like it's all the team effort in the end. So.
Hertha, that was perfectly humbly answered. It's brilliant. Such a diplomat, man. Jack Blade Zane. Jack Blade. I don't know if this is a question or not, but Jack Blade has said Zane kind of sexy. Jack Blade off of Golden X as well. Am I right? Is that correct? Have I made that up? So they got. I mean, he's not put a question mark at the end, but it is time for viewers' questions. So I don't know. I feel like it's possibly a question.
I'll take it.
You'll take it, yeah.
I'll take it.
Exactly. Anyone got any questions for Kronk?
No, that's good.
Anybody want to talk to a fucking icon? Get your put your face on here.
So is the question, when are you going to come on camera?
Yeah.
Is that the...
When's the
I've got a question from McKenzo quickly.
Go
McKenzo, this Mac report, you've been doing it for like a number of months now. Just very quick. what was the guest that has surprised you the most, and what guests would you like on the show in the future?
And who's caused the most drama?
Like who's like
me the
giving
most?
you the show that you didn't expect, like
Or
show in general.
We'll go for who would I like on. So I've got Darian in the works, which is really exciting. And that was a proper sort of trolley tweet. I'll see if he responds, and he did, and that's really exciting because that's more because of what he represents being Supercell. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's just that's insane. And okay, he might not be coming on in an official capacity as a Supercell employee or whatever, but that for me is like that's huge. That's just absolutely awesome. So he was definitely on my list of people I'd like. There's still people I haven't even spoken to yet that I want to have on. I want to see Clash with Enoch on. I was speaking to Avi today, Clash Playhouse, and he was like, no one's ever interviewed me. And I'm like, how not? That's ridiculous. It's like there's people I just haven't even got round to even asking yet. And it's insane that people want to come on. I think that's the thing I could never get my head round. I was just like, it started off with like you and me, and then you bailed on me on the first week, so then I got Risty in at the last minute. But do you know what I mean? It was just like, it was people that I happened to know within the world of Clash that wanted to come on, and now it's like, people are like, why have you not asked me? And I'm like, there's only so many weeks in a year. I'd love to have Galadon on, just because he just represents a totally different part of Clash of Clans. Like, most of my people are esports and that side of things, but the very first World stream that I watched was hosted by Galadon. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, who's this guy? And and also because people have occasionally said, "Are you Galadon?" Because I think I've got blonde hair, so I look slightly like him, and so. And I'm old as well. That's probably the other part of it. So that would be incredible.
You should get Godson on as well.
Oh,
just because I love listening to his voice.
And like former, so like that one, who was it that did? Was it Judo that did like the former Clash of Clans players coming back to the game on one of his specials? I'm sure it was Judo, and they had like Chief Pat and Moltz, and yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah.
Who surprised me? I don't know. I think I've been surprised. Clash Ninja will watch this, and this is probably Clash Ninja. I think probably surprised me most. And I said like Clash Ninja obviously quite an interesting side of it, but working with the API side of things in the background and all that sort of stuff. And when I wanted to get him on, and he said I can't do camera, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, I've not really spoken to this guy before. He could be really boring. He could be he could just be a computer geek. Like and that might be really, really boring. So I was like, I messaged Risty, I was like, can you come on as well? Just so we've got like another camera there, and also just, if he's a bit dry, then we've got someone else going on. And that was really interesting. That whole interview was really, really interesting. And he came on again, and when he came on that big, massive one that we did, and actually the insight that he put into things was always really measured and well thought out, and so that's probably one of the most surprising ones, if that makes sense.
It was kind of a totally different side to Clash as well. Like,
obviously,
you're
exactly.
really used to the competitive scene and all that, and then suddenly he was talking about stuff that I didn't really know anything about, and I'm assuming you didn't really know anything about either.
Exactly.
So it was pretty cool to hear.
So he was probably the most surprising, if that makes sense. So yeah. Does that answer your question, Crunk? Does that work?
Yeah, it's definitely I like
who's
it when
caused the most drama?
Like some YouTubers have done shows like this in the past, and it's very predictable who their guests are going to be. But you have some big, well-known people, then you have some people you don't know a lot about who just in the background. Then, like on a week you're struggling, you just get some like riff-raff on like today, pretty much.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
You got me on
it's
here.
pretty entertaining.
all the people you could have interviewed, and you got me. All right.
I mean,
it's been absolutely awesome, Alex. In terms of who's caused the most drama, there's a 2-minute conversation that you and me had that caused the most drama. But I think that's because it's not ever really been designed to. I'm trying not to make this controversial. Do you know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to come on and talk crap about people or anything like that.
I blame
stuff
Crunk
comes
for
up.
asking the question.
Yeah, as like we'll talk about stuff that's going on and the scene and all that sort of stuff, but I do try to keep it. But even when we're bashing on Supercell and like, oh, they need to change this, and like the fact is, we all still love the game. We're all playing it because we love it. So it's not done from I think Jake from One Hive. I don't know if you ever remember Jake from One Hive, but his videos were basically like just beating on the game continually, and it was a really frustrating time. I think Supercell didn't listen to content creators in the way that they do now, but he was banging his head on the wall and then eventually just stopped, and you could see that actually that's not what I ever wanted this to be. It's just about talking about a game that we love. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's the reality of it. Yeah, there's frustrating things about it, but we're all enjoying ourselves. Otherwise, we wouldn't still be playing. Surely.
Speaking of Jake from One Hive is solely responsible for my transition from spamming dragons at Town Hall 7 and Town Hall 8 to figuring out how to like strategically attack a base at Town Hall 9. I watched every single one of that dude's videos, how to do go Vajos, how to put double bombs in between defenses to blow up high. Like, bro, that dude, if it wasn't for that dude, I wouldn't be a competitive Clash player today. So shout out to Jake from One Hive.
Yeah, how to funnel. Like the amount of times I shared that video on what a funnel was and how to funnel troops, the amount of times I shared that with other players in my clan of like on Band, because we used to use Band to talk because Discord wasn't a thing. And like this is how to do it. This is how to stop all your dragons just going everywhere when you drop them down. And it was So I'd love to have him on, but I don't know. I don't know how popular he is within the Clash community, because that whole game venture that he went on afterwards when he was going to create the perfect game, and I don't think that's ever happened. And I think people put some money into that I've never seen that again. So. I don't know how interesting I guess he would be or not. So
most of the people that are in the competitive scene now weren't playing when Jake was around. There might be a few here and there, but most people from back then are long retired.
Just old duds like me, you and me, Zane. Has anyone got any other questions?
Old guys, 30s and up.
Jackblade has asked Zane, where's your neck?
Under my chin, in between my shoulders and my chin. It's there, dude. It's there. It's a phone camera.
It's a phone camera. To be fair, he's been holding it the whole time. His arm must be killing him.
This probably looks pretty cool, dude. Actually, like a Goomba. Yeah. Anybody watch Super Mario Bros. Back in the day? I'm a Goomba.
Happy days. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It was, as Crunk said, it was a little bit of a last minute sort of let's see who we can pull together, because I realised that I'd been away on holiday and I hadn't basically organised anything. We've got some huge names coming up soon, but it's actually these group ones are just as much fun, just getting you all together and just chatting about the game. And we've not even talked about Clashiversary. We've not even talked about all sorts of stuff. There's actually a whole load of questions we missed out as well. Now all the just I'm about to finish. A whole load of questions come in. Question for Hertha in Tribe: do you normally plan together during wars, or do you plan on your own? Is it sort of I imagine it's probably a little bit of a mix of both. Is that right, Hertha?
Yeah, like in the first couple of minutes, like of course everyone looks at the bases for them own, come up with a rough idea on bases they like, and of course like you discuss the plans. Like, we don't like talk about every single funnel troop or like exact tile we're gonna place the Warbreaker or whatever, but like, just like the rough idea, and then we'll just say if they like it or not, and what they don't like, how to improve it, and like it's like 2 or 3 minutes per base if like we find something good on it.
Yeah.
Because like sun-based are harder and more tricky and takes longer to find a good plan or something you're confident with. But yeah, I think it's more teamwork than, of course, like I don't know actually, because like if you've got people that like just can't come up with their own plans, not saying we have that, but it's just annoying because like you have to find plans for others and you don't really know are they able to do this or are they even confident in doing this. So I guess you kind of need the team, but also you need to be able to come up with your own ideas for what you like as a player. Because like everyone's got different strengths. Like if you give me a Packer Smash plan, I'm gonna fail it 1% of the time. Right? But like if you give me like a Dragon plan or a Lalo plan, I can do it.
Nice. That makes
Everyone has
sense.
to find its own strengths.
Go ahead and clip that. Go ahead and clip that if you're building a base against Hertha. Told you what to do.
It's fine.
Told you what to do.
I will find a Dragon or Lalo plan on it.
Hans has asked a wee follow-up question of who in Tribe normally provides the most plans to the squad? Or is it fairly evenly split?
Like I said, like mostly everyone's come up with their own idea for the base. And if we don't find an idea, who's giving everybody the most plans? I don't really know actually. Like Maxi's got like an amazing I think he's pretty good at remembering bases. Is it Maxi? I think it is. Like he knows like, oh, this base has been hit by this and this base has been
Right, yeah.
crippled by this, and like that always helps, of course, having seen them. And like a lot of people are actually running tribe bases against tribe, which is interesting because like we obviously test them so we know what works, what doesn't. So it helps as well having people on the team that can remember bases. I'm not one of them. Like I can say, yeah, I've seen this base, but like I can't recall where or it was hit or whatever. Like it's good having. I don't know if it's Max actually, but it's one of the guys who always remembers the bases. Yeah,
I like that. You're so new in the team, you haven't quite worked out exactly whose voice associates with everyone. So like, someone's providing some plans like, somewhere. It's definitely one of them.
I don't know whose voice belongs to who, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like I'm so focused on like planning and stuff that I don't really think about who's talking right now and who isn't.
Just when you're talking about people providing plans, I was playing for Funfair in the Black Widow Cup on Sunday because they needed a player. They were desperate, clearly, because and Black Widow's got no set roster, and Baha was like, Matt, can you? Because I had no plan for any base, and I had the last base, and he was like, Matt, can you Lalo? And I just laughed in his face, man. And I was like, and it's exactly what you're saying about not sure what people can do. It's like, don't give me a Lalo, man. Are you mental? It's like that's like insane. Like, give me dragons. I'm the dragon hitter badly.
Yeah, exactly. It's always hard. Like if you given a planet, it's like an army you can't really use or something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the good old can you Lalo. Right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Right, let's do a wee raid now. Thank you so much, guys. See you later. Bye. Start waving now.
Thank you.